Hi all, my name is Jason Diebel and I'm here today showing you the configuration opening box of a lot of different PowerBlock components. If you got to this video, you're interested in how to use this straight barbell for your urethane PowerBlocks. So, a place where this might come in handy is if you want to do some like upright rows, if you're interested in bench press, but don't want to go out and buy a whole set of Olympic weights or regular weights. If you've already got the 90-pound set, for instance, like I do, that's 200 pounds of weights. And, even with a bench press, that's quite a bit of room for you to go. And I mean, yes, can I bench press more than 200 pounds? Yeah. But if I just want to do basic bench press stuff with only having 200 pounds of weights, this is a pretty good configuration. Now, here's one thing I noticed when I opened the other box is that the screws for these straight bars and curl bars are right on the plastic, right on the foam here. So you want to make sure you take out the screws before you discard the foam, or this thing is going to be useless too. All right, so this is really pretty straightforward now. It comes with the same two set of handles that we saw for the curl bar, set of directions, and a full another set of stickers that allows you to the curl bar or the straight bar for either the 90s, the 50s, or the 70 sets. And from just doing an example of how you use this setup, you really need that sticker because now you can use up to 4 adder weights, 2 in each handle, so it gives you quite a lot of variety. And one of the things I mentioned in the last video is this would be really great for strip sets, because a strip set, typically you start out with a heavy weight, and then maybe you add a little weight to it. Well, you start out with a lighter weight, right? With good form, and then you add a little weight and go up and try to keep the good form. Now, this bar is a little bit thicker than the curl bar. Not much difference there otherwise. And one of my main questions was, is this something that I would use for a bench press? And I think this is the standard size of your normal Olympic bench press bar. Now, configuration is going to be a little bit different. And, if I was in an Olympic bench press competition kind of guy, I don't think this is a setup I would go with. But if you're doing bench press once or twice a week, or incline bench press, I think this is going to be plenty to get you with what you want to do there. All right, so if you're just here to see the open box, I mean, that's it. We've got some stickers that we're going to put on the top of the handles here. We've got some screws that we're going to use to screw in the bar. Each end of this bar is threaded. That's how we attach the handles to the bar. And that's basically all there is to it. Since this is such an easy assembly, just continue watching if you want to see how this is assembled. So one of the questions I had up front was, it looks like these handles are exactly the same as the handles for the curl bar. So one question I was having was like, can I just buy one set of the handles and then 2 different bars? In theory, you could do that, but I'm going to tell you right now why you wouldn't, because you have to screw these or bolt in these handles to the bar. So to do that, every time you wanted to use a different bar, you'd have to unbolt these. I don't think that's really reasonable to do, and so for the extra price, it just makes sense to have 2 sets of handles. And I've noticed that some of the handles with the PowerBlocks, especially in the club sets, have the adder weights already attached to them. So if you want to avoid the hassle of the adder weights, you could just replace handles with handles that were already weighted, and therefore save yourself a little bit of time. So there's nothing wrong with buying an extra set of handles. In this case, it's going to be a lot more convenient than trying to unbolt this bar every time you wanted to switch between the straight bar and the curl bar. So this is going together really simply. I just screwed in the other handle there, and instead of twisting the screw around, I'm just able to twist the bar to tighten it up. So I mentioned this before, whenever I'm doing bolts and any kind of equipment like this, I like to get it hand tight first, and what that does is it assures that you're not going to cross thread a bolt. So now look at this. One of the things I think you want to be careful is when you're assembling this, you want to make sure that both of the handles are in the same direction. In theory, I could tighten this down like this, but now it's going to be really strange to add the weights to it. So when I do this, I'm putting it on the side, making sure that they're both lined up, and then you're going to put your wrench to it. This is an 18mm bolt. I just have, since I didn't have an 18mm wrench here, this is just a 3/4 inch wrench, which is close enough to get the job done. So notice here when I tighten this side, I'm lifting that side up. This could be a little bit of an issue, so you want to kind of tighten them up and keep bringing that back to center. This side is as tight as it goes. These are both even. I'm just going to go back and give that another turn. I'm amazed that just 2 bolts in this bar makes it feel so stable. These stickers show you that with the 90-pound set of weights, this configuration will go up to 200 pounds is rated for 200 pounds. And that's the maximum that this will go up to. Now, there is a possibility, if you bought the adder deck for the U90s, and you had each weight go up to 125 pounds, then in theory, you could put all of that weight on here. So if I had 125 pounds on this side and 125 pounds on this side, that's 250 pounds plus the weight of the barbell with the handles, which is 35. 250 plus 35, that's 285 pounds you could put on this barbell. Now, the directions suggest that it's not rated to do anything over 200 pounds. In theory, you could do it. From what I'm seeing, it feels sturdy enough to hold that. Now, I'm not going to go out and tell you to violate the directions or the safety labels, but if you really had to get up to that extra weight, you could totally do that. So it's pretty easy. Those are foil stickers. They go on. I think you really need the stickers on this because there's so many different combinations. It will do everything from 25 pounds with empty weight. I can go up to 35 pounds very easy by just adding in the extra adder weights, 1, 2, 3, 4 adder weights. And then every other configuration, and I'm not missing many weights at all the way up until 195 pounds. So, I guess the question is this something that we'd feel safe doing pull-ups on? Now, this configuration is a little bit different. This is just a rack that I had bought, not really even designed to do any bench press on. So the first question I have is, what's going to fit? See, it doesn't fit right in the rack for me. If I want to do bench press, I'd be a little uncomfortable with using in this scenario. Because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put the weights right on the edge of the bars. If anything slipped over to one side, this could potentially fall and hit me. So for this configuration I wouldn't recommend doing bench press on. The distance between these 2 bars is 44 inches. Now, I'm not sure that that's the standard width of your typical bench press, but this bar right here has 40 inches between it. So if you have a bench press configuration that's less than 40 inches, I think this bar would work fine for that. Now, with that being said, could I still go and do bench press with this? Now notice I'm using the PowerBlock Sport Bench, $200 for that. Has the $50 attachment for dips, and I can still use that, leave the dip station on and still use that configuration down here. So yeah, this is going to be a little tricky. I'd have to pull the bench way out, to a point where somebody can hand me that bench press bar. This position right here feels okay. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the threads on this bar and the weight of the bar is Olympic. Like, I've been under so many bench press that this part is all exactly like your normal Olympic bench configuration. So what does that mean? That means this is going to be great for military press. This is going to be great for any of those other moves that you do on tricep kickbacks here, skull crushers. It's going to be great for something like that. Now, you could totally use this for a bench press scenario, and it feels really good, normal, comfortable. Again, the bar is the same size. But with my configuration here, I would not feel safe just resting, the weight on these bars. So I wouldn't go ahead and recommend that. That being said, we could throw some weights on here and see what it does. But it's not something I'd recommend you using in this configuration. You're going to want a barbell holder for your bench press. That's 40 inches or less, just to configure that on. It would totally work otherwise. And with just the U90 set here, that would give me all the way up to 200 pounds to bench press. And for me, that's plenty of weight to work out with. I mean, most people start around 135s with 45s on there. So that would be a pretty good weight to work out with. You would just need kind of a little bit different configuration there. Maybe that's something that I don't know about, but maybe that's something that PowerBlock has a solution for. It seems like the next logical step would be to make maybe an attachment somehow that worked from the PowerBlock Sport Bench and gave you that stand that you need to do your pull-ups. I'm sure you could go to your local fitness store and just find another stand that's going to hold this in a way that's going to feel safe for you, and then you could go do all your bench press as well. Okay, there's probably way more entailed and deep that you want to go into. This is pretty much just an opening box and assembly for the PowerBlock barbell. But I just want to answer a lot of questions I think people would have. I know these are the questions that I had before I made the purchase, and it would have been nice to see a video. If you have any other questions you want me to try out, I've got the gym pretty much set up now. Go ahead and personal message me, and I'll respond back with an answer to your question. If it's something I haven't done yet, I'll try it out. And if you like the videos, please do me a favor and just subscribe to the channel. That's kind of a vote of approval that you like what we're doing here. All right, thanks everybody for your time.